All right. Hey there, my friends. I think we are live. Fingers crossed that we're live. We're trying new technology today. We're streaming live on YouTube, maybe Instagram. I don't know. We're gonna see if that actually works. Let me know. It looks like some people are here. I'm gonna bust open some comments, and I'm gonna kill my background audio, and otherwise we'll get this party started here. So it says chat is now open to everybody. That's me saying that apparently. And I got a text, which normally comes through when things have gone sideways. We're okay. Normally I leave my phone on for things like this just in case, stuff happens. I did a whole live stream once where, I shouldn't say the whole live stream. I did a massive amount of a live stream and I unplugged my microphone and I was just going to town, chatting away with myself. So let me see if I can make some of this work. Dave, I've got you added. Can I hear you?
All right, amazing.
I can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
I can see you, but no hearing. I'll let you work on microphones for a second. I am going to open some chats. Hey, Elias. Good to see you, my friend. Glad you could make it here. And we will see what else happens. So, without further ado, no, I still don't have you, dude. No audio. Oh, maybe you do have audio. Can I hear you now? Try again.
Hear me now?
I got you now. You know what I need? I need a better system, I just realized, because I've got me going in the background. So hang on, I got you now. We're going to play that game where it's like you walk around with your cell phone. Hang on one sec. Let me get rid of this and this. Oh, I tell you, I'm going to just close all my tabs and we're going to go in. Candace, you can hear Dave. Well, if you guys can hear Dave, that's all that really matters. I'm going to lose all.
Can you hear me now, Adam?
I got you now.
All right, cool. I'm on the proper mic now. We're good.
I just got to figure out. I have it streaming somewhere behind. Yeah, dude. I got you. You're good. I still hear me. Oh, man, I'm so sorry. We're going to do like a tiny bit. Until anybody asks questions, we're just going to proceed with like technical sorting these things out. If you have a question, drop it in. Otherwise, we're going to figure all this out.
We'll just be going back and forth saying, can you hear me? I can hear you.
Yeah,
can you hear
no
me?
kidding. Do you hear me? You obviously hear me as I'm talking to you. Where is this coming from? Brilliant. I think we're good now, man. I think we're good. Yeah, what was happening is I had YouTube open in the background. I had like Instagram going, making sure all the streaming things work. Turns out, fun fact for anybody that wants to stream live through Instagram, if you want to use like a third-party provider, you have to go create a live video on Instagram, then you have to copy something called a streaming key, then you got to put it into your streaming software, then you have to approve it. They don't make it easy, but we're
sounds
here.
Hard work.
It sounds like hard work. All right, dude. Well, we don't have questions yet, so I'm going to tell a story or an idea that I had. And I was drawing this thing out this morning, and then I lost my paper for it. So we're just going to do some visual interpretation. Essentially, what's the goal? Not even of marketing, but like how do you create better marketing, and how do you explain it to someone that's just getting going in a way that's going to enable them to get results? And like when they're working with a client, how do we sort of communicate this sort of really abstract idea? And I heard someone use this example of like their customers are kind of out there looking around in the dark with like a flashlight, and they're able to see just sort of this tiny little area around them. And then I was sort of visualizing, all right, cool. We've got a customer, we've got a client, we've got someone trying to serve, and they're looking around them, and they've got this like, I don't want to call it like myopic vision, but they can only see like 3 feet in front of them because business is happening and life is happening and all these other things going on. But they know that like out there's this holy land, right? There's like the promised land with bags of money, unlimited time, beaches, freedom, jets, I don't know, whatever you want, like whatever floats your boat. It's like, but it's all out there and they're over here. And that's illuminated kind of like this fuzzy image in their mind. And then what do we do? Well, our job is to put up streetlights along the way to show them a path to go from like where they are right now to where they want to get to. And I really like this metaphor because not only does it make it clear that we've got to show them, all right, first we're going to do this, then we're going to do this, then we're going to do this. But it's inevitable on a road trip. You're going to come across some kind of obstacle or roadblock or checkpoint or something where you're going to have to overcome an objection or a problem or a fear. And that's where really deeply, intimately understanding your customers and your clients and all of that really comes in handy, because it allows you to sort of pre-solve these in advance. So again, I had my like sketchy graph. It was terrible anyway. We're going to make a new one. But like visualize that for a second. Stickman guy with a I'll pop you down there, Samuel. I've got you right in the middle. We got like Stickman guy in the bottom corner, and then he's trying to get to like Holy Land up there with all of this stuff. And then it's like, we have to paint that path for them. Really, that's what copywriting is all about. That's what kind of marketing is. We just use different strategies and tactics to do that. But that was my thought. Thought.
Love it. Yeah, I think like when you go into a business, I think a lot of time the clients are, like you said, bogged down in day-to-day business. Like they're constantly working on sales and dealing with staff, maybe depending what type of business it is, but sometimes they can't see what they need to do, and just by you going in to consult them when you've not seen their business before is so much value in itself, because then you can start to plug the gaps. You can add different marketing, and sometimes when you go to work with a client, you can just do really simple things that can change that business dramatically. So it's not always about taking in like amazing fancy marketing campaign. It's just about like helping that client get clarity, and like you said, giving them lampposts and lighting the way to obviously bigger revenue, more clients, and showing them that path and keeping it simple for them.
Yeah. I think there's two things there. I heard like a business coach once say there's value talking to a tree. And it's like, if you're ever questioning your abilities or your skills, I know, classic tree quote.
Is that what you do on your weekends?
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's like it's the west coast of Canada. It's a lot of hippies here. We hug trees, we talk to trees, love our trees. But it's true, right? Like if you vocalize something out loud, you there's another quote that I really like. This says, I don't know how I feel, or I don't know what I think until I write it down. I found that the case. It's like I have to write stuff out. This is why I journal so much, why I do so much writing. It's like I've got to get my thoughts out onto paper to take a look at them, to evaluate them, and be like, is this true? Is this not true? Is this helpful? So on and so forth. But it's like, if you're even there to allow a customer or a client to like vent or to talk things out, like they're going to catch themselves a lot of the time. And all you really have to do is like, well, did it work? Was that good? Because like, what good example here? I've had, I don't even know how many conversations with business owners where they're like, yeah, we're still thinking about using the yellow pages. And like, we've always used the yellow pages. And for anybody not familiar, the yellow pages is a phone book that's like that thick, that businesses pay through the nose for, that no one looks at. It's like fire starter material. They still exist. I don't know how, but they still technically exist. And businesses spend upwards of thousands of dollars a year in them. And every time I have a conversation, it's always like, well, do you ever get any calls from that? Does it ever work? And the answer is always like, almost always, no, not sure, don't really think so. And then I sort of sit for a second and they're like, yeah, maybe we should stop that, or like reallocate some of our budget to digital. I was like, yeah, I'd probably recommend that. It's probably a good plan. If it's not working, I mean, we can try something else. And they figure this out on their own. Like, we're just there to be like, yes, here's the obvious truths of things that you need to do. And let's just steer the ship in that direction. There was another point as well about laying out the path. Yes, obviously or not so obviously, sometimes the obvious things are the things that they don't do. So they know what they need to do, but they don't do them because they're busy with all kinds of other things. So if you can be there almost as like a taskmaster, a bit of a babysitter sometimes, or like, hey, just make that post, write that thing. Like, it doesn't take a lot of stuff to get some significant results. Now, this might change in like 20 years, maybe, as things become more competitive, but like things are more competitive now than they were a decade ago. And there's still, Dave, you know this as well. It's like, we still see businesses that have like no website, or the world's worst website, or they don't even know what they're like. Yeah, sure. I guess it's getting a little more competitive. And like, we think we should know about digital marketing and all these things, but it seems to be really slowly adopted, which is phenomenal. Phenomenal for guys like us and people that want to do marketing or start agencies or anything. Cause the world is your oyster. Gilbert.
I mean, accountability is key. Like I see with so many clients, like they'll send a few emails. They'll be like, "Oh, how's your email marketing going?" And like they've not sent an email for weeks. And it's like, if we can just be consistent, if you just, you're not going to get sales or results from one email. It's going to be those, 50, 100, 1,000 emails that you've sent over a year, and you're going to see your email list grow. And for clients, you're going to see it grow. So yeah, like you said, if we can keep clients consistent and keep them accountable, that alone can be a great service and provide value to that client.
Yeah. Yeah. In many cases, what we do now is we automate as much of this as possible. So I think, Christina, good to see you. I think, who did I hear say this morning? What even Sabri was saying this, but it was like, it's not technology, it's psychology. And this is something I've preached for like a decade now, is that I really am platform agnostic. We're going to talk about this in a second, Elias. I see you got a good question there. Like, we're pretty platform agnostic. We don't really care what we use. Like, if YouTube went away, we'll just hop on the next one. Instagram goes away, that's cool. We'll find that. Facebook, it doesn't matter. Like, it does not matter. What matters is the psychology behind it. Why are people buying? What are the pains that they're trying to overcome? How are you positioning yourself in a way that shows you as the expert and authority to solve this? All of these things that have not changed in millennia, really. Our weird little human brains with our amygdalas in the back that are set for fight or flight. Like, all of this is geared up to make very primal, emotional-based decisions. In fact, there's a couple really interesting studies of people who have had damage to the emotional parts of their brain, and they're just unable to make decisions. And it's simply because we make decisions emotionally first, and then we back it up logically later. So we do need the logic. Bit of a side note, we'll hit the questions. The emotional part is for us. Like, Adam, why do you want that? I don't have a fancy red sports car anymore, but like, why do you want a fancy red sports car? And for me personally, it'd be like all the emotional reasons, but the logical reasons, I'd be like, well, I hear red is a very resistant to rain color, and well, it gets good gas mileage, and we should all learn to drive a manual car. It's like all of these logical reasons that we use to sort of prop ourselves up, which is the reason we include them in our ad copy and in our emails and in our messages as, the main thing that we have to make sure is that we're never diminishing someone's status by making purchasing decisions. So when someone buys from you, they need to elevate their status. They need to be seen as smarter, more attractive, wealthier, crazy, awesome in everything they do. And the second that we diminish that in any way, shape, or form, they just don't buy, or they regret it. So we got questions. Elias, are meta ads start relying more on creative and copy that need to choose interest and better keep your audience broad? Yeah, Dave, you're going to have an input on this one. I'll go first and then I'll pass it over to you. So my answer is yes. Like 99%. What we found is that over the last, actually decade now, right? We've been running Facebook ads for, a lot of years. Like back in the day, we had something called Power Editor, which was this abomination of an ads manager thing. Like, we had to. Did you ever see Power Editor, Dave?
I did see it.
Did
yeah,
you? Oh, man,
it was bad. It was so clunky. Like, it would not it would take like 20 minutes to change something. You're like, wow, this is taking forever.
Yes, and we like the way that we would update ads was like by updating spreadsheets and then uploading them as CSV files. Like, it was just the most archaic, awful system ever. Anyway. We had to be masters of the Facebook ad platform then. Like, you had to have everything dialed in. And there were great advertising guys back then, like John Loomer. He taught me a lot of stuff about like how to set up campaigns properly and all of that. But then they got a bit better, and our targeting was less important and the creative a little more important. Then it got a little better and a little better. And where we're at today is the ad copy and the creative are the deciding factor for most advertising platforms. I would even argue like Google Ads, where it is more simplified in that, but like your Facebook ad and your Instagram ad specifically, all copy creative. That said, 90% of the time, sometimes we still do run lookalike audiences and we still do some kind of targeting. This is going to be different if you're running ads for like a local business as well, because like local targeting is phenomenally effective, like just unbelievably effective. There's no point advertising to people that are never going to buy, but most of the time, we're using this hands-off approach. But Dave, pass the mic to you.
Yeah, I would agree. I think, again, it all depends on your objective and the type of campaign you're running. If you're running local, you're going to leave it broad anyway because you're narrowing it down by that location. If you're targeting, let's say, the whole of the US, you still want to probably narrow down with some targeting options, whether that's a lookalike audience, whether that's an interest-based audience, because I've always run off kind of the principles of your sweet spot for an audience if you're going for the whole of the US is an audience size of anything between like 2 to maybe 5 million at max. Because if you go completely broad on your targeting with the whole of the US, you're going to have like, 200 million, 300 million in the audience or something stupid. Mm-hmm. So yes, if you're going for the whole of the US, I would still narrow that down. With that said, Facebook's a funny one. And we've spoken about this many times is you never know where something's going to work. I have all of these like old wives' tales where you have to do this, you have to do that, don't do this. and then I'll test it against completely opposite, and the complete opposite will work better. So what I always say is start with what you know, start with the principles that, like I've just said, if you're going for the whole of the US, narrow it down with age, narrow it down with the gender, narrow it down with interests or lookalike, and then run that and then test it against completely open and see which one performs better. See what you cost per lead, see what whether it's purchases, and then obviously cross-reference that. And obviously, again, you want to look at the quality of the lead, and that's one thing I always look at. It's not just we want to get the cheapest leads. It's is it ROI positive and is it a quality lead? So yeah, that's what I would say on that one.
Cool. I like all of it. Yeah, we test everything, and it changes as well. Again, I think the point here is like focus on psychology more than technology. So the targeting, yes, is going to come and go, but they're getting smarter. But the one thing that you really can outcompete people on is the ad creative. The good news, bad news is it's harder, but that's good. Like what you're going to find is that anytime you can, I don't want to say make life harder on yourself, but anytime you can put yourself in a position where the extra amount of effort is going to deliver reward by simply like outworking other people, it's always a good plan. Like anywhere where there's a quick hack or a loophole or a shortcut or something like that, they get exploited so quickly that they're gone before they even matter. So yes. Nate. Hello, Nate. Good to see you. Michael, hey, from Reno. Hey, Michael. It's like 1 billion degrees there right now. Stay cool, my friend. Stay cool. Gilbert, could you expand a little more on GMB citations? Keep hearing you talk about these, but don't really know what they are. Yeah, right on. Yeah, I talk about citations a lot. So GMB, Google My Business, is now GBP as well. Fun fact, Google Business Profile. They changed the name. So we'll go with that. So, okay. Think about Google. When you go to Google and you've got like this search engine in front of you and you have 3 different sections. We call it the Google trifecta. So at the top, you've got your ads, right? All your Google ads. This is everything we've just been talking about. Below that, you've got the, it's called the Map Pack or the Snack Pack or Google Maps or Google Business Profile. So I'm sure there's some other names for it. The local listings. I think that's all I got right now. This is where we're talking about citations, but we'll move on. Then below that, you have all of your organic listings, the regular websites. This is the stuff where we do like traditional SEO for building backlinks, on-page optimization, et cetera, et cetera. Now, the low-hanging fruit for most people is that map pack, like where those little pins are, like businesses near me, chiropractor here, dentist in Albuquerque, whatever it is. And the way that we increase the rankings of a business in the map pack is fortunately incredibly simple. Incredibly simple. Number one, we optimize the profile. So we fill it out completely. You can do some fancy pants tactics like taking pictures with your iPhone that have meta tags and descriptions that'll like mark the location. That's like an advanced tactic, but really just make sure it's filled out. Okay. Number two, we got to get more Google reviews on it. Positive reviews, ideally. We have to respond to reviews. We use High Level for that. I'm going to get my link. Hang on. aarch.co/ There we go. That gets you an extended free trial. Hopefully that works out. But we use this to get reviews and to get positive replies to it. It does most of the heavy lifting for us. That increases the rankings. The third factor, whatever it is, fourth, who knows where we're up to, citations. What the heck is a citation? A citation is a specific kind of backlink that includes a business's name, address, and phone number. We call this a NAP, name, address, phone number. It has to be consistent across all of the links because the internet, as smart as it is, still isn't smart enough to like really differentiate between this and that and the other thing. So we've got to make sure that we're building these links using name, address, phone number. What are citations? They could be things as simple as social media ones like Facebook and Instagram where you can put it out. It could be like Yelp or Angie's List or White Pages or Yellow Pages, the online phone book version, YP. There's a ton of them, hundreds. And all else equal, ceteris paribus, Latin phrase, all else equal, the business that has the most ratings, positive ratings, and the most citations will rank at the top. And along with that, it's going to get like 87% more clicks and it just dominates. So pretty much always we're suggesting to businesses, and we do this with our students inside the Agency Accelerator as well, is like you've got to be mastering local business SEO with GBP, Google Business Profile, GBP. Because it's just so simple to do. Now, how do you get citations? You buy them. You can build them. You can find people on Upwork or Fiverr or something like that, or you just buy them, which is always my preference because they're not expensive. We do it inside High Level through Yext, but you can also do it through Bright Local. You can do it through Whitespark. You can do it through the Hoth. You can just Google buy local citations and you'll find it. Final bonus point. If you can get a business to join the local Chamber of Commerce, it's a phenomenally valuable backlink for any local business. Join the local Chamber of Commerce. Pay your $200-$300 a year. Don't go to meetings. Don't do anything. I don't care. But like, I just want that backlink because it will rank you towards the top. I think that's it. Dave, I think I beat that one up pretty hard, but
Yeah, I think you nailed that one. And yeah, I've not heard that Chamber of Commerce before, so that's a
so
nice little
good.
golden nugget there for everyone.
Such a good link. That one is like if you could get in on like the city website or a local university or anything like that. Those are good too, but you typically have to like fight your way for those. Whereas the Chamber of Commerce, you just buy membership into it. Any other like local organization groups that are clearly like, I don't know, say you're in the landscaping niche and there's in landscaping in, let's use Albuquerque again, landscaping Albuquerque, and there's like a Albuquerque Gardeners Club. Like you need to be in that one and you need to make sure that your website is listed there because that backlink is telling them like, look, other people like this and now Google is pointing here and we're getting a really valuable signal. So we're always looking for local links like that. All right. Ooh, here's a good one. Coron. I'm going to go with Coron. Done. Solved. How do you get over the fear of outreach, especially cold calling? Oh, this one's dope. I love this question. So first I'm going to give you the cop-out answer. Then I'm going to give you the more practical one. So the cop-out answer is that you don't have to cold call. There are other options, viable options. In fact, probably even more viable options than cold calling. Cold DM works really well. Cold email is our favorite tool by far. Inbound content marketing works great. But like cold calling is the fastest way to get immediate feedback and probably clients. And so the story I tell is like, if I had a gun to my head and I had to make 100 grand in 30 days or bad things happen, I'm just calling everybody. I'm just burning through the numbers. Like, hey, do you need this? Do you need this? Do you need this? Do you need this? And like your rejection rate is really high and it's not a lot of fun and it's kind of exhausting, but you will make a lot of money. Like if you do it right and if your tone is right and if you're using a right script, it's just a really, really good strategy. So how do you get over the fear? Couple things. The first of which is understanding that any kind of rejection is like, this is natural. This is going to happen. You will be rejected. Now, very few people are going to tell you to like F off. It's just, they don't typically do that. They're running a business. They're normally very polite. They might hang up, or they'll be like, not interested. No, thanks. Don't call again. Like, okay, that's fine. That's part of it. The second thing is you have to understand that they're not rejecting you as a person. And do you want to know how I know that? It's because they don't know you, right? Like, how can they be rejecting you when you've just called them? They don't know who you are. They don't know what you like or your history. You're married, you got kids, you friend. Like, they know nothing about you. So they may not like the thing that you've just done. But even then, like, you could have just caught them after they had a big fight with their partner or someone backed into their car or like stuff happens, right? It's not our responsibility to try to understand where everybody is all the time. So you've got to really separate that. Then practice really does make perfect. So the more you do it, the less scary it becomes because you start to realize like, hey, I can make 100 calls and I don't die. Well, that's weird. I thought I was going to die, but I'm fine. I can do it again. And is it fun? Sometimes. We've got people inside the program that love it and they just eat it up and they do fantastic. And they've tricked their brain because they equate making these calls with making money. And if you can do that and be like, hey, I make these calls, I make 100 calls, I get a couple appointments, I'm going to close a couple of those appointments. Now I'm getting some money for it. And then it becomes a whole lot more fun to do. Dave, any other thoughts on that one?
Yeah, I think, again, it's not something that I've ever enjoyed doing, but I'm always kind of holding on to the wins. So, like, you might call 100 people, but you get like 10 really good conversations. Just remember that feeling. Like, remember, like, when you called those people, like, hold on to that because you'll be surprised at how many people actually are receptive to that phone call or are nice. Like, not, we always think the worst when we ring someone and we think, oh, we're just going to get the phone slammed down, or like you said, we're going to get told to get lost. But it doesn't really happen that way. So if you can, like you said, is disconnect from the rejection and just enjoy it somehow. Make a bit of a game out of it. See how many you can do a day. And again, when you asked the question, you said we could call them Q. So when you ask the question Q, like just start with one call and see how you get on. You don't have to ring 100 people in one day. Start with one. If they say no, go on to the next one. And then before you know it, you've probably rang 20 people and you're like, oh, that wasn't as bad as I thought. So
it's never as bad as you think. Yeah. There's this, maybe it was Tony Robbins. He said fear is like false expectations appearing real. And then Aristotle talks a lot about worry and dread and how it can take over your life and never have. And then Mark Twain, his quote is I worried about I experienced a great deal of pain in my life, most of which never happened, or something like that. Like all of these anxieties we sort of build up in our head. But I think the important thing, if I had to leave you with anything, was like, how bad do you want it? Right? Like it won't kill you. It's not a lot of fun, but I mean, man, there's way less fun things to do. Like hard manual labor. That's not a lot of fun. Just calling someone and having them say, no, thanks. Not that bad. And like everything you want is on the other side of fear. So I find almost that like the scarier something is, the more I almost force myself to do it. Cause I don't want to let fear control my actions, and I don't want fear to control my life. To the point that it's like, I have all these things that I really want, but I'm letting these irrational thoughts get in the way. And again, we're not swimming with sharks. So, all right, Q. Amazing. Christina, I've been trying to talk to our Chamber of Commerce about updating their website. Yeah, right on. Do that as well. Most chambers are terribly outdated and old. If they update the website, I would almost do it. Depends on the work involved and like how complicated it was. I would almost do it for free if I could put my link on the homepage.
I was going to say, sneak some backlinks in there and
just like pepper it. They're like, why? What's with our site? It becomes this sort of
why is all the traffic going this way?
Yeah, exactly. What happened overnight? Yeah, I like all of that. Pratik, I'm facing problems in selecting niche. Want to provide paid ads and website development as a service. Ooh, awesome. Okay. This is a good one. Okay. Oh, I got thoughts to lead. We could talk about this one for like 8 hours. So we'll try to keep it pithy. The thing I want to lead with is that you're doing it backwards. So you don't want to start with the service first. You want to start with the niche first, and then we talk service. And the reason is because you're trying to take something, square peg. Yes. You're taking a square peg, Facebook ads, web development, whatever it is, and you're trying to find a square hole to jam it in, but you're having to jam it in all these round holes. You're like, what about dentists? What about roofers? What about this? What about auto dealers? What about pet spas? Whatever it is. And it's this frustrating thing, unless you're just a master at paid ads and you're clearly very good at it, in which case I would just look back at my previous clients and like, who are the ones that I got the best results for? There's my niche. But the other way to do it, and the better way, is we start with the niche first. We figure out who are the people that I like and want to serve. Then we design the strategies and the services to go for them. Because most business owners don't care what you do or how you do it. They care about the results that you deliver. So then we have options. But again, we could go forever. So Dave, to you.
Yeah, I think the question I would ask is what niche would you enjoy to do? I see a lot of agencies get into niches that they just don't have no kind of love for that niche, or have no experience, or don't know anything about it. And that's okay if you're going to really embody it and enjoy it and go into it. But don't just pick like roofers if you just Googled it one time and you thought, I'll just do a niche for roofers. So find something that you're passionate about. If you have something like, I love golf. So if I was going to build an agency, I might go and target golf clubs because I love everything golf and I'm passionate about it. And then the next thing is really, I forgot my next point actually. I think that's it.
I like that. Well, I like the interest and ideas one. So for me, it's like, it is this combination of interests and passions and market demand. Like that's really where we find it. And the problem I think is that if we're starting with these interests and these passions from like a service perspective first, we're trying to find the market demand for it. And it's just going to be really tough. Like it's just not as much fun. Yeah. You're significantly better off doing it the other way around. Now you can, there's this cognitive bias, a heuristic called confirmation bias, where you can just look for things and they'll support what you already believe. So if like you're already set on say Facebook ads and website development, which I would argue also, I don't know if those are incredibly congruent offers to put together. Web design, maybe, but like web dev, perhaps not. There's a ton of money in paid ads though. Like if I had to push you anywhere, it'd be there. But then I'd find the niche and maybe make a list of a few of them and be like, which ones are going to be the best with my paid ad service. But again, unless you're already like a master of paid ads or you love it and you're like, this is the greatest thing I've ever done. Like we've got to do it the other way around. Gilbert. Yes. Very much like dating. Business and dating and fitness, like they're all kind of related. Because it's a lot of like consistency, rejection, I guess, being clear about like what you're trying to do. Yeah. Whatever metaphor works with you. Christina, not the most comfortable with cold calling stuff, but strangely enough, hoping to walk into the local stores to begin with. Yeah. That's another thing is like, if you can do it in person, phenomenal. Success rate's way higher. Who was it? It was Paulson. I was doing this, training with Paulson from High Level. And what he used to do when he had his dental marketing agency is he would go to the different dentists with like boxes of muffins, and he would show up with like boxes of muffins like all the time. And you know what? He got clients. Shocker, right? So I'm always trying to think of like, what are other people unwilling to do? And then I just do that. And luckily the bar is like so low. Most people are willing to do nothing. So
ironic that he took sugary snacks to a dentist.
I know. I was joking with him about that. I was like, was it donuts? Was it just candy? Was it? Yeah. Our dentist gives I forget what they give them. They do give them like some kind of candy. I was like, well, that's fair. The dentist is like it's a traumatizing experience for some people. So
yeah.
Mohammed. Hey from India. Hey from Canada and the UK for Dave. I've got my certificates in DM. I've been reaching out, but no desired response. Does location matter? Any suggestions to get clients, or should I get a job initially in a startup? Without knowing more, I don't think you have to get a job in a startup. The problem with getting a job, like keep your job. Let me back way up. You need enough money to eat. Okay. So it's like, once that's covered, I would get a job that paid me as much as possible for the least, this is going to sound lazy, but the least amount of work, and ideally the least amount of mental work, because I want to be able to go home after and be fresh before work. So it's like, maybe I'm working minimum wage, or I'm flipping burgers or making coffees or something like that. But after, I can like switch my brain on, and I can even kind of think a little bit at work while I'm doing my monotonous tasks. So I don't think you need to go get a job at a startup. The problem with that is like, you might just end up doing one very narrow specific thing that's not going to provide a lot of experience in other areas. As far as DMs, we just know the location doesn't matter as much as you've got to optimize your profile really well, and you've got to make sure that your script is on point. But Dave, I'm going to pass that one to you as well, because you've run a ton of those.
Yeah, I think it's more about like your offer and who you're targeting. And I think when it comes to DMs, and what people think is you've got to consistently grow your audience. If you're on Facebook, Instagram, you need new people to message, and you need to be growing, say, your Instagram profile. Because if you're not, you're just going to be DMing the same people over and over again. And so if your DMs aren't landing, it might be because you've not got the right type of people in your audience for the offer that you're trying to give them. So again, if you're a master at DMs, like, look at your audience, make sure it's fresh, keep growing it, and then just keep testing. Another thing is look at your DM approach. If your DMs aren't landing and you're getting no responses, it might be time to change that DM approach, because again, I love data. I love analyzing things. As Adam knows, I'm always asking for data from him. It's like, if we send 100 messages and get 0 response, something's not right with that message. So then let's send another 100 and change that message, and then see what happens, and then just monitor that data and go from there.
Yeah, right on. I think when it comes to the data that we're looking at, is that, at least this is what we see with most of our students, is they're either, well, actually like 90% of them just aren't sending enough to get any statistically significant data back. So they'll send like 5 and they'll get no responses, and they'll be like, I tried DMs, didn't work. And I was like, well, no, we need to send like 500, like, or at least 100, like, give me something back. 5. I mean, what if all 5 people were on vacation? And then from there, like, if we do send 100 and we're just getting like rejection after rejection after rejection, it's our offer, right? Like, again, it's nothing really personal. We're trying to give someone something, or we're asking for something too soon that they just don't want. Like, it's really that simple. So we have to tweak it and adjust it and find another angle and find another script. This is why actually, like, we've got a number of proven templates and scripts we go to again and again and again. And we use those as starting points to get a benchmark. And then once we have a benchmark, say we send 100, we get 10 positive responses, 5 bookings. Now we can tweak it. Because then we can send another 100. Are we getting 20 responses and 10 bookings? Are we getting 30? Are we getting 0? Back to the original one. So it's like, yeah, it just keeps going. But again, it pretty much always comes down to like not doing enough, or just not a good offer. They just don't want it. Katrina. I keep saying Christina. Okay, Katrina. I'll try and remember that one. Excellent. Yes, hoping to update the site for free because it's so outdated. Sure, it'd be a benefit for everyone. Yeah, I like that. I would just make sure that my link was there. Also, a link somewhere on the homepage is going to be better than a link in the footer. So if you can do that, yes, homepage link. Bhushan, hello, folks. Hello, Bhushan. Are there advantages to using cold emailing, cold WhatsApp outreach? Yeah. We could talk about this one a lot. Yeah, it's amazing. Like cold email, probably one of our best strategies ever. If you do it right, like it scales linearly. So the more you do, the more you get, without the diminishing returns that you get in ads. Everyone has an email address. Why else use cold email? It's cost effective. Like you buy leads for 2 to 4 cents a lead. The software is, I don't know, say $100 a month, but like for $200 to $300 a month, you can send thousands of emails. You just cannot get that kind of reach in that with any other strategy. The only thing is like if you're just getting started, cold DMs work well because then you don't need anything to go. Dave, we're not doing much on WhatsApp though, are we? Like it's not really big on our strategy.
No, I mean it's kind of just come to a lot of like the connections. So in high level, you can now use WhatsApp. I mean, I know WhatsApp from being over in Europe we only use WhatsApp. That's the main thing. But I know in US, I don't know about Canada, a lot of time it's iMessage. So again, I know WhatsApp now, Facebook's purchased it. It's probably more global. But yeah, I think the main thing between email and using like WhatsApp, Messenger, Instagram DMs is what you said. It gets throttled. So you can't send 100, 200 DMs a day. You won't be able to send that many WhatsApp. But with email, you can put it on autopilot and warm that up and send as many. And it's a numbers game. Yeah. So yeah, cold emailing has been around for, I don't know, since email started. And it's still probably the OG and the best strategy in the market.
Yeah, I agree. I think like if you're gonna master anything that's going to create an unlimited, like an infinite money glitch in the system, the ability to make as much money as you ever wanted or could ever dream of, it comes down to like, we need some kind of valuable product or offer or service, something to sell that people actually want. Then we need a way to get in front of them as quickly as possible in the most cost-effective way possible. Which is why we just keep coming back to like selling marketing services, which pretty much puts us directly in front of buyers, businesses that value and need this kind of thing, and using cold email, which allows us to get in front of countless thousands of them. It's insane. Like it's. I don't know how it's still allowed. I mean, we've gone through like modifications and tweaks and like algorithm changes, policy changes, I guess, through Gmail and Hotmail. But if you do it right and you set things up right and you do it politely and ethically and you write good copy and you follow a good script, yeah, it's a money glitch. So yes. Okay. We got some others.
Lots of questions coming in. I love it.
Yeah.
Keep them coming, guys.
I know. I like these too. Hey folks, the entire strategy, we look like folks, apparently. You know, when you're like, that's sort of my greeting. It's like, hey, my friend, or hey, folks, or good day, folks. I was reading some Gary Halbert letters this morning. This is what I do for fun. I just read old copywriting newsletters. And he always starts it with like, hey, friend, which I found interesting because I always like to say, and this is probably just my influence, like anytime I'm writing an email or whatnot, it's like, hey, my friend, hey, my friend or hey, friend, I don't know. We'll split test that another day. But what will be your entire strategy to go from 0 to 10K a month in 90 days, starting from scratch? What will be the service you'd offer, and how would you go about outreach? Oh man, I've made so many videos on this. We'll answer it anyway because it's fun. But like, you go check out the videos after because they're on this channel. They're on the main Adam Erhart channel. Like, there's a lot. I'm even working on another one because I was like, how quickly could we get to 10K? And I ran a test. We did it in like a morning. So I think the proof is like when you know what to do, you just do that again. But like learning how to do it and then taking the steps are another thing. So what would I do? Model, market, message, media, machine. I said that too quick. I'll unpack it. So I use my marketing master plan for everything. I use it for Google and Meta, for clients like Salesforce and Snapchat and Adobe. I use it for everyone. I use it for small mom and pop businesses. I start with a model. What are we selling? What's this look like? Kind of ties in with market a little bit, but like, I'm going to sell marketing services. And the reason is because they put me in a B2B market instead of B2C. So I'm not selling running shoes. I'm not selling low margin things, and I'm not selling to the general public who may or may not have money, typically may not. Businesses do have money. and they know the value of marketing, many of them, enough to certainly make it worth my time. So I'm selling marketing services. I'm selling it to businesses. I'm probably selling it at one of three levels. I'm selling it as an affiliate, which actually I've got a really cool thing. If you're just getting started, I'm going to put that in there too. Affiliate marketing camp. I'll drop that in there. If I'm just getting started, I'm selling affiliate marketing because I don't know how to do marketing yet. So there's no point in me trying to pretend that I do. I can just have the software do it. If I know a little bit about marketing or I'm curious about doing it, I'm starting an agency. Full stop. It's my view that everyone, that if you're interested in doing business of any kind and you want to make the most money in the fastest way possible, marketing agency. If once I've done that for a couple of years and I'm a super pro, then I'm doing some consulting and I'm just going to pad the agency and the affiliate with consulting work, and you can charge hundreds, if not thousands of dollars an hour. The most I was charging was like $5,000, which seems crazy, but is very doable. When you're able to go into a business and provide massive amounts of value and switch around their marketing in like 15 minutes, good things happen. So now that I know my model, now I'm figuring out my market. We start with the niche. We talked about this already earlier, but you got to pick a niche. There's a ton of them. We've got lists on like $1 million niches, all of which are proven. The standard ones that I probably don't advise you use, but like dentists, chiropractors, gyms, things like that. The less standard ones like pest control, funeral services, junk removal, power washing, high-end landscaping, pool remodeling. Like these are all really valuable niches. Once I've got my niche, then I'm figuring out what are their biggest pains and problems, fears and frustrations, their miseries, what are their wants, their goals, their dreams, their desires, their miracles, and how does my business help solve that for them? That's really it. I mean, obviously there's more to it than that, but again, countless videos on that one. Then I'm putting together where are they present and active online? We're using cold email and cold DMs. And I'm reaching out to as many of them as humanly possible, all day, every day. Once I get a client, then I'm going to start to separate some time between getting them results and getting more clients. But the second I have 2 or 3 clients, I make sure that I'm continuing to do outreach until I hit my like 10K number. And even then, scaling it up. I think that's everything in like 3 minutes. Dave, I think I said it all, but maybe I missed something.
No, you nailed it.
Okay, so that's it. 0 to 10K. How long will it take? We've seen people do it in 7 days. So your results may vary. These are not income claims. FTC, don't come after us. They're extraordinary people. I'd like to imagine that you are as well, though. But like you do the right things in the right order, and you do them with enough aggression and violence towards like getting results and taking action. I don't want to say like success is inevitable because obviously there's some stuff that gets in the way sometimes, but like it's hard, right? It's kind of like if I work out consistently and eat healthy, I'll probably end up in better shape. Well, if you pick a good niche and you have a good offer and you do enough outreach, you're going to end up in better financial shape. All right. Oh, I got to scroll back up now that I did all those. Oh, we got good ones. Hang on. Q. I know my mentality is what's limiting me, but I know being already others would keep me accountable. Would I be able to pay to join private group on its own? Do I have to buy the course? We have a public group and we have a private group. The public group is available to anybody and you can totally join that one. And it's, let me find the link for that one too. And then the private one is obviously private. And the reason that there is we do keep that one private is to keep it for people that are 100% committed to it. Which is why we also have a free one. So if you want to go join the free one, you're more than welcome to. Okay, now I gotta go back up. Pricing. Oh yeah, let's talk pricing. Benjamin. I have trouble determining a price. I don't want to aim too high and get rejected, but I also need enough to eat. Is there a formula used to determine your price? Yeah, typically. What we normally do is like get 2 to 3 clients for free to get case studies and testimonials. Get 2 to 3 clients more at $500 to $1,000. Get 2 to 3 clients more after that at 15 to 2K. Get 2 to 3 clients more at 2K to 3K to 4K. And we just keep stepping it up from there. And then once you find that you're losing out on more than 50% of your sales calls, maybe look at your price a bit more. But if you're closing like 50% plus, your price is too low. Like we should be having some kind of people that are just like, no, I can't do that right now, or that's too expensive or whatever it is. We can find alternative offers. This is why I like, we call it waterfall pricing. But why I like having like a really high-end agency service, then a mid-tier agency service, and then also some kind of like affiliate or SaaS offer, like $500 a month. So we can at least get them going, even $100 a month. You can just sell affiliate stuff. I think that's it. Thoughts, Dave?
Yeah, I think again, price testing. So start where you feel comfortable for you and the client. Make sure you're not underpricing yourself. I see a lot of agencies underprice just because they're scared of that they can't deliver the service, but you will. You'll over deliver. Like even just what we spoke
Yeah.
about at the start of this video, it's you communicating with the client, you're getting involved, you're looking at their business. You'll find ways to deliver value, whether it's not results straight away, but you will get results. So yeah, start at a figure that you feel comfortable with, and then keep increasing that pricing, keep testing it until you get resistance, and then that's your
Mm-hmm.
sweet spot.
Yeah. Also, when you're testing your price, practice it on yourself a few times in front of the mirror, like straight faced. Dan Kennedy said this once, and I really liked it. It was like the person who makes the most is the person who's able to say the big enough number and keep a straight face while saying it. And I remember the first time I pitched something like, I don't know, 10 grand a month or something like that. And I remember like dying on the inside, being like, this is insane. No one's good. And then they said yes. And I was like, huh, I can't even imagine how much money I've been losing out over the years by charging like it's 1,000 and like wavering, and they'll be like, oh, it's a bit much. It's 500 now. Like, so you got to go to the mirror and be like, yeah, it's 2,500 a month, and we do this, and we also have another option that's 4,500. I don't think it's as good a fit for you, but yeah, typically we sell most at 25. How does that sound? And practice and just like say it and then zip it.
That's the key.
Yeah.
That's the key. When you say the price, don't say anything else, because we've got a tendency as humans to be like, but I do have another option and it's discounted, and then we lose that price. Whereas you can anchor it, say it, don't say anything else.
If you keep talking, there's an expression that's like, he who talks first loses. Because you say like 2,500, they look at you funny and you're like 1,500. Then they look at you funny again. They're like, I'll pay you. Can I please work for you? Yeah, it's just like, it's confidence and practice. But again, that's where the mirror comes in handy. Or like a friend, a family member, someone to like pitch the services with and say the price a few times. And yeah, it's good to have. Oh, here, this is a good one. Mohammed, how to know when it's time to take action? It's always time to take action. Honestly, that's it. Like, I think the thing that it sounds like you're looking for more though is like, when do we have enough information to succeed? And the secret here is like, we need a plan first, because then you need to work on getting just in time information instead of just in case information. So I'm guilty of this as well. It's like, I love to hoard information, so I'll learn it just in case. Like, that sounds good. I might need to know that one day. And that's not the right approach. Like, what you need is like, what do I need now? How do I learn it? And then take action at the level that you're comfortable with. So again, if you're not a full-fledged digital marketing expert yet, that's no problem. Sell the software as an affiliate. Go in front of people and be like, I've got access to a piece of software. It's really good. It'll do all of these things for you. Would you like to try it? And then once you've sold a couple of those, start selling it a bit more. Say, would you like help with the software? I could do this for you. I could run this campaign. And now, believe it or not, that's a marketing agency. And then you can charge a lot more and you can grow from there. So yeah, imposter syndrome's real. Everybody goes through it. The only way to get over it, if you ever really do, is to just take action anyway and prove to yourself that you know enough to do it. Yeah, I don't know if there's an easier way to get over that one. We got a good podcast on that one actually as well, but
we do.
Okay. Katrina, that's right. Oh yeah, the like button. Didn't even ask. The marketer in me is dying inside. What's it like? Smash like, hit subscribe, follow for more, share with friends, send us everything. I don't know, whatever. You know what to do. I used to have that like mug that said hit the like button. We just like casually drink it.
Product placement.
That's it. Yeah. Cans of Coke. Okay. John, do you use a pitch deck in sales presentations? Sometimes yes, normally no. Yeah, sometimes yes, normally no. Like 90% of the time, no. But once in a while, it's not terrible as long as it doesn't become a crutch. Like the pitch deck should add to the presentation and not detract from it. And what I found is that most people that use them tend to just like then go and just like read the slides and they just go and then they ignore the person, and it's not about you. It's always about the prospect. So if you're doing more talking than asking questions and listening, like things are already going wrong. Like you want to be spending most of the time listening and getting them to just tell you everything, because that's your future sales copy. That's them overcoming their own objections. Yeah.
Yeah, I've never used one. I've always just gone with questions that I want to open with and pull out the kind of answers from the client. And then really my job on the sales call is to build rapport with them and build trust with them. So then when I get to that price, they're happy and they're like, I like you, I've built rapport. We've already kind of started a friendship. So I feel like with sales decks, they can be like the 1990s where like you're just pitching something and at the end, like, I don't even know you. So why would I spend
Yeah.
$2,500 with you? So yeah,
Yeah.
I think having questions and knowing the kind of phases you want to take that sales process is good, but a pitch deck can always kind of just pigeonhole you and you just kind of end up becoming a bit robotic on the call.
Yeah, that's the same way I feel also about like we do have a sales script that we teach and we swear by, but the best people in the program and ourselves included on sales calls, it's like we know that sales script inside and out, so we don't really reference it very much. It's like I might look at a couple headings to make sure I'm staying on track or asking the right kind of question or whatever it is, but the second you're like reading a line from it, like you've lost that connection, you've lost that flow, and you're like, oh man, we've all heard those podcasts, right? Where it's like the person's like, they ask the question, they look down, great. So tell me about a time that's like, oh, what just happened? Like the conversation's dead and it just turned into this weird thing. So yes, if you do it well, go for it. If not, I don't love them. Mia, good to see ya. Glad you can make it. Hey guys, how do you balance your personal brand and your agency's brand? Can you only post niche specific stuff on your personal pages? Oh, that's a good question. So I like to think of it as like Apple and Steve Jobs, or Microsoft and Bill Gates, or Warren Buffett and Berkshire Hathaway, or like whoever, Richard Branson and Virgin, everything. Like the brand exists and it does all this stuff, but you have this charismatic spokesperson out front who creates a ton of stuff that's relevant to things that people would be interested in. So I don't think it's one or the other. They can work together, but I like having kind of that branded website. And then I like having personal branded social media accounts because it's rare for someone to follow like an agency Instagram account. That's probably not happening, right? It's not, but they will follow you as a personal account. And then what do you put on there? Yeah, you put a mix. More business stuff and stuff that's related to your target market, but a little bit of your personality. Now that said, that is not a strictly personal account. That's like just for your friends and your family. If you want to have one of those, cool, go do it way over there. Like we don't mess it up. Like your personal Facebook profile, Instagram account, they're not actually personal. Like those are business accounts. They're just called personal accounts, but they're personal. Dave?
Yeah, I would go heavier. I'd go heavier on the kind of personal brand, especially if you're like an agency and you're just you in that business. Like they're going to buy from you. They're not going to buy from the logo and the brand and the website. That looks good and looks professional. But when you get on a sales call like we're just talking about, you're not like embodying the kind of the business. You are the personal brand. So people are usually going to buy from you if they like you. So yeah, again, I think a personal brand is pretty key, but obviously lacing business into that. We're not just posting like selfies and beach photos.
Yeah.
Or tree hugging, whatever you do.
Tree hugging. What is he doing? Get away from that tree, you weirdo. I just love it so much. It's an alder. Yeah, I think the other, where was I going? I got distracted. Personal brand stuff. There was something on there. We'll come back to it anyways. I think the big takeaway here is like, keep in mind who your target market is, and then we create content for them. I remember my quote. People don't like doing business with businesses. They like doing business with people. So we do have an agency name, but then we put ourselves front and center. Now there's a lot. Oh man, I went over this debate for years of like, should I be a business or a personal brand or whatever it was. What I found is that as long as I was the face and the name of the company, nobody cared what my agencies were called at all. Like at all. In fact, we won't ask right now because we'll keep them somewhat hidden. But like of the people that know me and know the agencies that I have, I bet you they would have a hard time naming them, which is good. Because I don't want them to be totally famous on their own, because I found, at least personally, I'm able to drive way more traffic and business through my own personal brand for it. Because again, people like people, not businesses. And the beauty is when you're your true, authentic self, the best version of yourself, but you put yourself out there like that, you tend to attract people that like you and that will become good fit clients. And if you don't show that and you don't have that, you attract all kinds of people because they don't really know. And then you end up with people that you don't really like or you don't really want to do marketing for. early in my career, I ended up doing marketing campaigns for businesses that they weren't selling unethical products. They weren't nothing illegal, but they were selling things that I didn't really like. And I needed the money. And so I did the campaigns, and I was like, and then I had this like epiphany moment. I was like, what am I doing? What is this? And I was like, I think I need to fix this, which all came down to me. And like, I need to be more of myself and show this and this. And just naturally, we started to get a better clientele from it. So, okay. Let's see. We put this there. Yeah, if you're just getting started, this one is a good place to start. It's free. Can't argue with the one-time low cost of free. And there's some phenomenal training in there. So KMAD or KMAD. If we delegate our outreach and sales calls to someone else, do we risk missing out on valuable experience? Yep. Yeah. But even more so than the valuable experience is if you don't know what you're doing, you'll delegate it and you won't know if they're doing a good job or not. That to me is the real danger. In fact, I don't really, the sales calls actually I do want you to do. And the reason that I want you to do the sales calls is because the amount of information that you're going to get about your target market is, it's insane. It's insane. Like you're going to hear everything that they hate and everything that they love and everything in between like that. Yeah, you got to do your sales calls. And then once that's done, yeah, sure. I guess you can delegate it a little bit, but like delegating outreach, here's a fun fact. If you delegate it to someone that's cheap, they're probably not going to be very good. And then you're going to be like, outreach doesn't work. I was like, well, I don't know. There's certain things that I think are worth learning and mastering in life, and sales, outreach, the ability to generate clients and customers on demand, probably the most valuable skill you could ever have. Like if I were to teach my kids anything, I'll be like, here's how to go make money. Then do whatever you want. I don't care. But like here's how to make a sale, and here's how to get in front of people, and here's how to make a persuasive argument, and here's how to have a conversation with someone. Like these are skills that will last. It's going to help them whether they become bakers or farmers or astronauts or paleontologists or whatever kids want to do these days. YouTubers. Most want to be YouTubers. Devil's work.
Yeah, I think the sales call for me as well is like most of the time it turns into a discovery call, which you get all that information and then kind of turns into an onboarding call where I know that like, okay, this client's going to be great. I want to work with that person. I'm going to be able to get results. Where if you delegate that, your sales team, if they're commission driven, they're going to sell everyone and anyone. And then wait till you do your onboarding call and you're like, I don't even know how I'm going to get results for these people.
Person? Yeah.
Yeah. I can't sell this service. So yeah, I think it's a really good approach to take to do your own sales calls, because like you said, you learn your client, you learn those leads and clients, and you can build that rapport and then obviously turn it into discovery and onboarding call and know that you can get that client result. Yeah.
The only reason now, actually good example, Agency Accelerator Program, the main program we have for starting and scaling agencies. When first started that and first launched it, I did all of the sales calls myself, every single one, booked up all day, every day for weeks. And it was literally just to figure out who are the kind of people that are interested. How can I help them? Is this the right program for them? What are the questions that they have? How can I better position that? And then it was only when I was pretty much just exhausted and hadn't slept in weeks, I was like, okay, we need to bring on someone else that can help with this. And then they had to go through the same stuff. So it's like the sales guys that, like if you apply, you'll talk to, they're awesome people. So you'll talk to Felix, you'll talk to Oliver, or you'll talk to other Oliver, or you'll talk to James, and all of them know the program. They know what's required. They're phenomenally caring, empathetic people. They're ethical. Like that's tough to get to that level. And you can only get to that level and be able to like have a conversation with them if you've done it yourself and you know, these are the kind of people we can help. These are the kind of people we cannot help. So we don't enroll them. Like we just don't let them enroll. All right. Katrina, my current plan, get high-level setup, create a schedule, speak to local businesses, talk to them about SMS missed call follow-up as my gateway service, simple, low-point trust building, grow. Yep, that's it. That's the secret. There you go. Just do that. And if for some reason they're not interested about SMS missed call follow-up, then move on to reputation. So it's like Google reviews. And if that doesn't work, then move on to website templates. And if that doesn't work, move on to conversational AI chat widget. We just keep trying different angles until you find the one that works. But yes to all of that. Okay, how are we doing? Oh, we're like out of time. Let me see. That went quick, Dave, after our technical issues.
I know.
Let me see if I can find. This one's quick. We can go own a media production house, create long, short form videos, documentaries, etc. Best way to share your portfolio? YouTube. Yeah, YouTube is the best way. Make lots of videos about it. Probably Instagram next. Okay, here we go. See if we can help. Beyond imagination. Broke college dropout. We all started there. That's all good. Stuck in procrastination. Despite having big dreams, learn meta ads, search ads, WordPress, but lack real life experience. Desperate to turn my life around. Yeah, start with that affiliate marketing camp thing. It's free again. And if you know meta ads and search ads and WordPress, then just go talk to business owners and give them free websites, because I probably wouldn't even do it through WordPress. I would just do it through High Level's website thing and just like copy and paste over templates and give them that. And then you could charge them hosting fees. And if you reach out to people using social media DMs, it's free as well. So optimize your profile. Do that. More details later. Okay. Oh, there's so many good ones. Okay, hang on. Okay. Dave, do you have like an extra 5 minutes?
I do. We can extend it. We love being on here live, so let's
I gotta feed kids. They're gonna like start.
I need to eat myself. I've fasted all day, so
yeah,
I'm
what
pretty
time is
hungry
it?
right now. 8 o'clock, but we're good. I'm here for the team. So
that's so late. I'm in bed at like 8. Okay, we're gonna do these quick then, because we're gonna see if we can fire through them all as fast as possible. How do you transition from low profit services to high profit services? One of two ways. The first of which is like every new client that you get, you just charge the higher profit service. So that's easy. For the clients that you do have, you can't just jack the rates on them, but you can offer them another service. That's like, hey, we're currently doing this, but we should probably be doing this as well. Also, you've got to keep in mind Pareto's principle, 80-20. If you haven't, actually, I don't want to give you more homework, but like 80-20 sales and marketing dictates 80% of your revenue is going to come from 20% of your clients and customers. You could even 80-20 the 80-20 and be like the top 20% of the top 20%, which is the top 4% of your clients, are going to deliver 64% of your revenue. This is true. This is almost always true. Might go a couple percentage here and there, which means you could safely cut half of your clients for the low profit services and make significantly more money. So that is the process. Dave, you want to hop in? I'm going to keep scanning questions too.
Yeah.
Yes, you got all of this. Everyone, good things.
So how do I zero in on my niche when I own a podcast studio? Choose the top genres.
Oh, right on. Yeah.
Interesting question. How do I zero in on my niche when I own a podcast studio? Choose the top genres.
Is that our left hook? Man, where's that one? I gotta find it.
With podcasts, I would say, like, again, you want to choose something that you're interested in and has a big enough market. It always comes down to market research. So I think, find something that you're genuinely interested in. And then if there's a big enough audience to go and target those types of people and work with them, then you shouldn't go too far wrong with that.
Yeah. Also, Clark, because I know a little bit, because we just talked about this yesterday, 2 days ago. So it's still fresh on my mind. What I would do is I would look for either stick in the niche that you're currently in or look for like tangentially related niches. Pretty sure that's a word. So it's like, if it wasn't, say, supplements or supplement companies or whatever, I'd be looking at fitness, and then fitness influencers. Then I'd be looking at gym space. Then I'd be looking like anything that's somewhat related. And then I would just expand from there. Cause like once you kind of get into say like fitness and gym space, and now we're kind of more into influencers, now maybe fashion, now maybe this, and then maybe food, which we could go off the other one. I think all of that works. Also, because I think a podcast studio is kind of a niche in and of itself, and again, earmuffs everybody else, but like you could go a little more broad with the market that you're serving, just because of the nature of the service that you're doing. Awesome. Okay. Let me see if I can, there was another good one here.
Whiskey's got one about YouTube.
Oh, good. We'll hit Whiskey in a second then. Whiskey's always got good questions. Watch hundreds of videos from main channel. Still, overthinking brain tells me I can't deliver full results if I get clients. How do I get good at getting results? This is the worst answer ever, and I'm so sorry, but it's practice. That's it. How do you get good at getting results? You got to do some marketing and you got to get results. Now, there's ways to minimize and mitigate that risk. One of which is, again, I would use the software to do a lot of the heavy lifting for you because you can't mess it up, right? So it's like, getting Google reviews doesn't take rocket science. Like you can do that. Same with building citations. Same with adding a chat widget, conversational AI. Like all of that stuff is really very simple to do. Complicated for a business owner that has better things to do, but like for us, people interested in marketing, like we push a button. It's ridiculous. That said, once you've done that, SEO rankings, ads, website builds, you're just going to have to start, charge a little less, get some experience, and then you can transition that. But yeah, you got to go get a client, even a free client to start. That's the answer.
Yeah, and we were all once in that situation. I remember watching 5-6 years ago, watching all of your videos as well. And again, you were 6-7 years ahead of me. So again, think about like we're all in a journey. We're all at different stages. But if you've watched hundreds of videos, probably stop watching hundreds of videos and just go and implement. Go and take some of what you've learned and implement it. That's the key.
Yeah. Don't watch any more videos except for ours. That's it. Like, get off YouTube, except stay here right now. Yeah. No, for real. Like if you've gone through and you've watched them, exactly what Dave said. It's like, that's enough. Like now we're doing just in case learning instead of just in time. And what you've got to do, or what I prefer, is like watch one video and then go try to implement everything that's in that video. What you may not know, because like, just the guru culture, the influencer culture we have here on YouTube, which is tragic, is like Dave and I just tell you everything. Like we're not really hiding anything there. So if you do what we say, like everything, we don't make anything up. Like all of this is proven successful for us, for all of our clients, our students. Like just do that, and good things will happen. Okay, whiskey. So should I keep this account for niche content, use my personal YouTube with my name for more general topics? So do both, right? Don't do both. Too much work. The only reason we have both, 2 channels, and even then, man, do we go back and forth. And I talked to some very smart people about it, and insanity. So you want one, you can do it under your own name, or you can do it under, like I'd probably do Marketing Autoglass and then like your name, or would I do your name in Marketing Autoglass? Like they're going to figure out pretty quickly what it's about anyway. And then you can always start another channel. If 5 years down the road, you're like, I'm now going to do another thing. But yeah, you want one channel, and you don't want general topics. You want niche specific topics because videos take a lot of work and a lot of effort. So let's make some money from them. And you're not going to make money from general topics. You're going to make money from like, here's how to get more here's how to get more Autoglass clients. Here's a social media strategy for Autoglass. Here are the top 7 tips to grow your Autoglass shop. Here are 3 AI tools your Autoglass needs to run. Here's blah, 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 blah. Like all of the titles ever that have to do with Autoglass. But one channel, my friend, please. Oh, you're too kind, Katrina. Too kind. Carlos, do you need a website or at least a landing page? Yeah, you do need a landing page. Call it a website, call it a landing page. You need somewhere that you own to do it. But like you can get a domain for $10 a year, and then you could chuck on a Go High Level website that just copies and pastes it. So yes to all of that. Perfect. Let's see, find one more. Carlos, always here, send 1,000 emails daily. Does it really that many businesses to email? 30,000 a month to who? That means follow up. Yeah, like it's such an arbitrary number. It could, whoever's saying it could mean cold. It could mean including follow up. It's a pretty healthy number to do. It sounds like an insane amount if you've never done it before, but like the reality is if you start sending them, it adds up pretty quick, and then the automation kicks in. Oh, okay. Let's end on a high point, and then we'll wrap it. Zane, good to see you, buddy. Earlier this month, signed your first client at $697 initial reputation management and customer re-engagement. Good for you, man. Good for you. That's fantastic. I'm really proud of you. Really proud of you. That's fantastic. Especially because like these are phenomenal services to offer because you're able to get started, and clearly $697, and like we can use the software to do this, right? Like we're going to go out there, we're going to get more positive Google reviews. We're going to dispute any negative ones. Customer re-engagement campaigns. We just upload a customer's list and we send them an offer. In fact, actually, Zane, I just put out that video that had that best offer on it for like, hey, we've got 10 vouchers here set aside. Would you like one? Make sure to do that one. That one's phenomenal. You know this already, but all right. I think that's it, everyone. I'm starving. Dave's starving. It's time to feed kids. The time has come. All right. Good questions, everybody. Thank you for being here. Thanks for taking part and bearing with the initial technical difficulties. And otherwise, we'll see you next week. I think we're gonna make this a weekly thing. Same place, same time, same everything.
See you guys.
Thanks, Dave. See you in a bit, buddy. See you guys.